I haven't seen you since 2018.
Well, hi. Hello.
You're like a massive pop star.
I don't know about that.
I'm going to keep calling you a pop star.
It makes me feel uncomfortable. I don't know how I feel about it.
I know, but it's true.
I don't know. No, I don't know.
I know you don't want it to be because I know you just
feel very normal to
But
be
we should
honest.
talk about it because it's a thing.
It is. It is a thing. I've been working hard. The whole team's been working hard. Obviously, like when I look at where I am now, compare it to where I was like last year, it's definitely like there's a lot of growth.
When time goes the way it goes and you work really hard and you do loads of stuff, sometimes you forget to do that bit where you're like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
2015, I put my first single out.
It's true.
2017, Finders Keepers.
Yes.
2019, pop star.
It's a good little trajectory. I like that.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's been.
I like that.
So your debut album, High Expectations, out right now.
It is.
Everybody can listen to it.
You can.
I know the phrase debut album gets used a lot. Tell me what that means to you, Mabel.
Literally everything. I'm an album person. That's how I've always listened to music. Like, you listen to something from beginning to end.
Yeah.
To me, our album has all those different flavors and moments and ups and downs and little interludes, and like, that isn't really how lots of people consume music now. It is quite, single based. And being what is it you keep calling me?
A pop star.
A pop star.
She's a pop star, guys. I like that you asked me to confirm
like, just say it, just to confirm. No, but I think like pop albums now, you don't even have to make albums like that. You can just make some songs and put them on a project and be like, oh, here we go. This is my debut album. But I didn't want to do that. I wanted to make something that told a story, and that took time, and it was really difficult. I think making an album like that, it's like a self-exploration process. And, you really do pick yourself apart and look at all the pieces under a magnifying glass, and you're going to see some stuff that you don't necessarily want to see.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's difficult. Those moments are difficult.
How long did it take you to find the name for the album?
So the name actually is what set off the whole process. Because I signed a record deal, and then, it's like, off you pop, go and make an album. And I was like, whoa. To me, that's not just making some songs and putting them on a project. It's like telling a story, and what story do I want to tell, and how do I want to tell it? What's my voice? I didn't have all the confidence that I needed when I first signed my record deal. And, to me, it was just a wild concept, like that I was just supposed to go out there and make an album because I didn't know how.
Right.
I wrote the song High Expectations, which is the intro and the outro for the album 2 years ago. Summer 2017.
Okay.
And after I wrote that, that's when I was like, this is it. And then all the songs sort of came after that for the record. And I just felt like, the title said everything about me. I've always aimed really high, set the bar sometimes too high, really ambitious, very driven.
Which is okay, it's good, because if you set it really high, at least you're going to get higher than the normal person would get to.
I've been like that since I was a kid. Just like put so much pressure on situations and always known what I want, what I like and what I don't like. And I just started thinking a lot about her, I guess, that little girl that, was just so like ambitious, like painfully ambitious. And that like, if it hadn't been for her, then I wouldn't, and all those crazy big dreams of like standing on stages and like, me pretending I was Beyonce in my bedroom, then I wouldn't be here. And then started just thinking about that saying a lot. I was like, I definitely set the bar very high in relationships. And then, obviously with what I do now, I guess what people expect of me too. I was like, I can, in every song, I could look at that in some way, and I like that.
When you talk about putting things under a microscope, so you're in the process of making an album, you got to break yourself down and really look at things. How do you get past a bit where once you've seen the bit maybe that you don't like, you have to record it and put it on your album forever? How open are you, and how open did you have to be on High Expectations?
I had to be very open. I've been so honest with everything. I'm like, I'm sorry to all my exes. It's all love.
Every single one of them.
Every single one of you have been absolutely rinsed. But it's all love. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you.
So you have to be really open, I think.
Yeah.
All the songs that people really relate to, that's because you just have to be human and just be like, look, this is the real.
What was the most difficult song then for you?
Okay, Anxiety Anthem was the hardest song to write, because being an honest person, honest writer, how can I not discuss this, the elephant in the room, which is that, I've battled with anxiety and depression and mental health issues my whole life.
Yeah.
So how can I not talk about it? I have a responsibility with the platform that I have to be honest with people about the bad days as well as the sassy, fun, you know.
Stick my neck out.
Exactly. Those days, like I have to. I have a responsibility and I knew that. So at the beginning of the album process, I was like, I'm going to write that song. And it took me 2 years to write it. I tried so many times. And I think it's because I didn't know how I actually felt about my anxiety. I think I still felt ashamed of it, embarrassed, and I felt like being a vulnerable person made me weak. That was the understanding that I had of it. That's how I looked at it. I couldn't write the song because that's not the truth. You know, that's not the truth. And then last year I woke up and I had a session with Emanike and Maria Hazel. So I went and I was like, yeah, this is hard. I feel low. I don't really want to be anywhere today other than my bed, but I'm here and that's how I'm feeling, and let's write a song about that. And I was just like, yeah, maybe it's whatever. Maybe it's okay not to be okay. And Emanike was like, that's it. That's the chorus. And yeah, we all had a little cry when we finished the song, because I think like everybody needs to hear that. It's not, you know, it's not a secret that everybody has bad days. And yeah, it was like just a massive release for me.
Yeah.
Just to be honest about it and be like, I'm not going to be embarrassed about it, and I'm just going to tell you guys that this is how I'm feeling. We're all the same.
Do you love your album?
Oh, I love it so much.
Yeah.
I love it so much. I literally was just like, wow. Like the week it came out, my manager texted me and was like, I'm listening to the album. And I was like, no way, me too. She was just like, I'm so proud. I was like, yeah, me too. It was a difficult process, and I do feel like I took my time to make it, you know, perfect. In my eyes, it's perfect.
So let's talk about you being a pop star now. Because that must still feel surreal.
I just feel the same.
Do you see how many people are looking at you when you're on the stage though? Can you see them? Are you taking that in, or is it not? Are you like, no, forget it?
Yeah. Do you know what? Standing on stage is when you really feel the growth in a different way, because obviously the rooms get bigger. Yes. There's more heads in there now. Yes. So yeah, I do feel it now. Like it's difficult when somebody's like, oh, like the other day it was like, oh, 100 million views on Don't Call Me Up, whatever. And I was like, that's sick.
I've never counted to that number before in my life.
I was like, that's so cool. But you just don't understand until you're actually seeing people and seeing their faces and being like, oh. So I get emotional all the time on stage, like especially I think Finders Keepers makes me really emotional, because that to me was the point when I found my sound, and that really like changed everything for me. So seeing people singing that song or whatever, that's when I'm like, okay, the growth is real.
It's real.
Yeah.
Okay, let's fast forward to 2024.
Oh,
5 years from now, if everything goes right, if you say yes to the right opportunities, what is Mabel going to be doing?
Hopefully, you know, it's arenas we're talking about at this point.
So hopefully arenas.
I have a dream of touring arenas. I love being on the road. I prefer it to being at home. Yeah, doing shows, I'm like, I could do a show every night. Like the energy you get back.
Where are you from? What is wrong with you?
I don't know.
You're so not normal. This is weird.
I just like the energy you get from the crowds though. Like that's no sleep. No massage, nothing can compare. I'm so addicted to that high that you get from a show. Like you could send me on like a world tour 4 times round on like a 4-year tour, and I think I'd be happier than I am at home.
Are you serious right now?
I live. So yeah, hopefully we're talking like arenas, and a lot of them. I'd love to be doing a world tour. 2024. I mean, I take my time with my album, so maybe, you know, 3-4 albums.
I take my time with my albums, maybe 3 or 4 albums.
Yeah.
In 5 years.
Yeah, I could do that, I think.
Wow.
Do you know what? Because I've made one now and it took me 2 years. I feel like now I'm not so afraid of the process, and I know what the process is. So I feel like I could go in now, and I'm not going to say I would make one in half the time, but maybe I would make one in half the time. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. Don't quote me on that.
But maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe 3 albums. Let's say 3 albums.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
On your life. You know, someone's like, congratulations on your new... No, congratulations on your life.
Life is good.
Life is good.
Yeah, congratulations on your life as well.
Thank you, baby girl.
Yeah.
Life is good.
Life is great.